What's up, people? You are now tuned in to your new favorite podcast, The Layup Line. I'm one of your hosts, AJ, with my homie Mark. What's up, Mark?
Sup.
And we are back for another episode of our layups and dunk of the day. Now, before we start, one, it feels good to be back in this position, doing podcasts, talking my spit with you, sir. But I want to give you a round of applause for that last dunk of the day, all right? We've been getting a lot of feedback on our social media because I would say you predicted it. Although I nudged you to say that you was definitely on December. And December was too far, but Steve Nash is out. We're not going to talk about it, but sir, that was very, very good.
Thank you.
Very good dunk of that. Way to start us off.
Thank you.
Today's topic, today's layup is going to be dear to our heart because it's an industry that both of us are in, and that's basketball training.
Yeah.
Now, I've been around basketball for a very long time. You as well. People don't know how old you are because you look so young, but you've been around basketball, a staple in New York for a very, very long time. But what do you do? What is your business?
I'm a basketball training company, and it's not only me. We work with all levels of basketball, from the rooter to the tutor, from the youngest all the way to the pros, and we work a lot on fundamentals and development, trying to make them better as a basketball player.
And I think that's where you and I see eye to eye, or at least came together, because we both are about the fundamental development of the players. It's not just about the rah-rah and the glitz and glamour and the lights and camera.
Yeah.
You know, we work with, youth athletes all the way up to pro athletes or guys and girls who are serious about the sport in general. But we are passionate about teaching them how to play basketball all around. And I think that's what makes us unique in a sense. My question to you is basketball training a necessary tool?
In today's world, I would say it is necessary, and it's largely due to the fact that there aren't kids playing in the park as we once were when we grew up.
Right.
So they're not getting those extra reps that they would get normally. Because we would go to the park. If there wasn't no AAU practice or team practice, we'd be in the park. That is no longer around. So they have to fill in that void in some way, shape, or form, and that's where basketball trainers come in. Can players get better on their own? Unequivocally, hell yes. Not even close. But today's world, everyone has their own special trainer. They have the person that does this. They specialize in this. They do a grade of this. But it's not a necessity.
Right. And I think we definitely need to dig into the special trainer aspect. But also, you hit it on something when you said, can players get better on their own? Which is 100% true. Because like you said, we didn't have access to training. Training wasn't even a thing.
I didn't never heard of it until I saw it.
Exactly. So players can certainly get better on their own. But in some degree, is it a crutch that they have guys like us to work with? And I think it could be, especially when you have a player who's not applying the workout to the game. Or better yet, working out on their own to apply it to the game. And I think that's the thing, because these players go and work out with Joe Bob and whoever 2-3 times a week, but they're not playing on their own. And that's, to me, what they need to do. They need to actually go play on their own to see if this stuff that they've been working on works, but they don't. They go from training to a game, and then they never try the things they've been working on, so they're still doing what they feel like they're good at. Being that the industry is unregulated, anybody can say that they're a trainer. We work in this gym, and the dude behind the concession stand can say, "Yo, I run a training company." How do you feel about that?
I think they're doing us as people that really have a vested interest in the sport and in the aspect and the specialization of basketball, doing us a disservice. And I say that from this standpoint. They're putting a bad name on the whole profession as a whole because they're really fucking it up, to be honest with you. They're really hurting the profession because they really don't know the nuances attached to it, but they really never played themselves, for the most part. And I think that overall it's just making us look bad because, you go to a trainer and the parent says, I went to a trainer and it didn't work out. That paints the whole industry in a negative light.
Right. Well, I think it's like any other product, right? Any other industry. If you have a lot going on and people don't necessarily have the knowledge or quality in their product, it's going to water down everything.
Right.
So when anybody can say they're a trainer, it's very easy for the product of training to be watered down when people don't understand how valuable it can be.
Right.
So I definitely think in the future there needs to be some kind of regulation or at least some determination on, the guys who are really good at it, because all trainers aren't for everybody,
Right.
There are trainers who are specifically for certain guys, and there are trainers who are just for, kids who want to just play local basketball.
Right.
So there's definitely some designation in the industry about who's who and who's for who. That will help people understand which direction to go.
Yeah, the pushback on that would be, who determines a good trainer? So is there a body that can say that you are qualified to be a good trainer? You meet this standard? Because you could skin a cat in any different way.
100%.
My approach may be completely different than your approach, and we get the end result be the same. So how do you get to that point where you have somebody say that he is a good trainer, she's a good trainer?
Well, to me, here's the thing. Basketball within itself is not a complex sport, right? Dribbling, shooting, ball handling. There's only 4 or 5 different things, different ideas that you can really work on, right, in a training session. And to some degree, all of our trainers, right, if there's a million of us, all of our trainers are working on some of the same things, right? It's just how we work on it. So to me, it's not about what you're working on, it's about how you're working on it, right? So my 3 things that I kind of concentrate on are the what, the why, and the when, right? And a lot of these trainers that I've seen, that I've noticed, some near and dear to me, they understand the what, but not necessarily the why, right? Even to some degree the when, but the why is important. Why are you doing it? Why are you shooting a floater versus a pull-up jump shot? Why are you doing a side step versus a step back? These things are important to players because they go out, and then if you're repping, then you're going to go in the game and do repetition stuff when that might not be the best option for you. Also to me, I think I'm very high on the idea that trainers, I should say, should be people who have some experience playing. I think that's important because in any industry, you don't want a professional giving you advice if they've never been in a fight. Right. So how do you have someone who hasn't played, and I'm not saying they have to be the best of the best NBA Hall of Fame, but how do you have somebody who hasn't played at a high level give you advice on what you should do? Right. Because to me, it's all about understanding the circumstance. I've been here. I can tell you what worked and what didn't work. Not I read a book or went to a coach's clinic and so-and-so told me I should do this, because that may not be the best option in that scenario. But if you've been there and you've seen it, if you come off that screen and you say, okay, I see this guy step up, need to split or pocket pass, then you can teach that player how to do that because you've been there.
I equate it to this. If someone's broke, how are they going to tell you how to get money if they never had money?
100%. 110%.
Why am I taking financial advice from you and I have more money than you?
So to go back on your thing, there could be a bar or a scale that you and I should create. Here we go. That maybe helps people understand the trainers that they're working with, right? Because I think it's important, because at the end of the day, I'm passionate, and I believe you are passionate about youth basketball, or about basketball, grassroots, right? Because that's where it starts at. No matter who you like or love now, they all started somewhere, right? So if we can kind of manipulate the grassroots in a way that we believe to be best for our future, then everything will be better.
I agree.